Hey, beautiful soul. If you're healing from narcissistic abuse, you may feel like you should be further along by now. You may feel like you're taking too long to heal. And maybe you've even asked yourself, why am I still hurting? Or why is this taking so long? But let me tell you something that's important. Healing is not a race, it's sacred. It's a personal and it's often messy journey. And in today's video, I want to share with you why rushing your healing can actually delay your freedom, and how to embrace the process with compassion and patience. So why should you not rush the healing process as a narcissistic abuse survivor? By the way, this is our third video in the Don't Make This Mistake series, in which I first talked about the 10 mistakes to avoid as a narcissistic abuse survivor, as well as stop blaming yourself, the truth every narcissistic abuse survivor needs to know. And this is the third video in which we are talking about why you should not rush the healing process as a narcissistic abuse survivor. Be sure to watch all the 11 videos in the series, because at the end of the day, we're going to have 11 videos, because the first video as well as one video on each of the mistakes, because we have 10 mistakes and we are talking about each of the mistakes. And so we are going to have a total of 11 videos in the playlist, and so do ensure to watch all the total 11 videos. Okay, so having said that, why should you not rush the healing process as a narcissistic abuse survivor? I have 6 reasons, and the first one is healing isn't linear. I've always said it, and there's a video on that on this channel where I talked about the truth about healing from narcissistic abuse and emotional trauma that no one tells you. Now, healing isn't linear, because sometimes you may feel you are healing and sometimes you may feel you are back to the trenches. And so healing isn't linear. Just get used to the fact. One day you feel strong and the next day you feel triggered again. That doesn't mean you're failing. It just means you're human. Yes. And so embrace your humanity with your full chest. That's a language that we use in Nigeria here. And embrace your humanity with your full chest. Yes, without blaming yourself or anything. Now, healing from narcissistic abuse involves layers of unlearning, of layers of grieving, as well as layers of rediscovering yourself. And so expecting a straight path is like expecting a storm to follow a schedule. You can't expect a storm to follow a schedule. A storm will hit anyhow it wants to hit. And that's the same way your healing will be as a narcissistic abuse survivor, because healing is not linear. It's not a straight line. Sometimes you go like this, sometimes you come down, and it's all a mess of jumbled up emotions taking their own turns to manifest in your life. So get used to the fact. Secondly, your nervous system needs time to recalibrate. Yes, your nervous system needs time to recalibrate. What actually happens with narcissistic abuse is such that the abuse dysregulates your nervous system. It recalibrates your nervous system, and because your body has lived in survival mode for a long time, through what we call hypervigilance, through what we call anxiety, and through what we call shutdowns, because you've experienced a lot of hypervigilance. Hypervigilance is constantly being on edge, and then you've experienced a lot of anxiety, and you've also experienced a lot of shutdowns. And so expecting a straight path isn't possible. And true healing involves retracing back to your default, and also retraining your body to feel safe again, because in narcissistic abuse your body doesn't feel safe, and this takes time, this takes gentleness, and this takes repetition. The third reason why you should not rush the healing process is that rushing can lead to spiritual bypassing. It can lead to a spiritual bypass, which is not too good for you. And so sometimes we use positivity or spirituality to rush past the pain. We slap on affirmations without sitting with the wound. You got to sit with the wound. You got to face your pain face to face, eyeball to eyeball, because until that happens, healing doesn't come in. And so healing requires feeling the pain, actually feeling it in your body. You got to feel the pain in your body, and God never asked you to fake peace, F-A-K-E. God never asked you to fake peace. He promised to walk with you through the valley, not around it. And so God expects you to break through the pain and not around the pain. You got to break through it, which means you are going through the tunnel of the pain. You got to go through the pain even as you heal. And so get used to that fact. You can't have a spiritual bypass. You got to pass through it spiritually, through the pain spiritually, because pain transforms. That's one thing I've come to realize in my experience with narcissistic abuse. Pain does transform if we allow God to use it to remold us, to refine us. Pain is a major transformer. And the next reason why you should not rush your healing process is that comparison is a trap. Comparison is a trap. Now, you might look at other survivors and think they are already thriving. Why am I still crying? Don't make that mistake, because you don't know what they do in the confines of their homes, in the confines of their rooms. It is what they present to the world that you see. And so just know that comparison is a thief of your joy. It is a thief of your grace. And so everyone's timeline is different. Your timeline is different. My timeline is different. Your journey is unique. My journey is unique. And so we can't compare, because comparison is a thief of grace and comparison is a thief of joy, like I earlier said. So honor your unique journey. Honor what God has said your journey should be like. The children of Israel honored their journey through the wilderness into the promised land, and it did work for them. And so God is doing something beautiful in you. God is doing something beautiful with you. So God is doing something beautiful for you. Let me repeat. God is doing something beautiful in you. God is doing something beautiful for you. God is doing something beautiful with you. And it's not a copy of someone else's story. Your story is unique. Your story is dynamic. Your story is different. And so get used to the fact that comparison is a trap. Also, the fifth reason why you should not rush your healing process is that healing slowly builds stronger foundations. You know, when you build a house and you build it slowly, you have a strong foundation. And Christ is our firm foundation. By the way, as children of God, yes, Christ is our firm foundation. And so healing slowly builds stronger foundations. And when you don't rush the process, you create space for real transformation. And with transformation, something has to die for something to rise up. And what is dying is your pain, basically. And you are rising up from the ashes as a beautiful person, as a unique person, as a God-filled person. Yes. And you integrate lessons from the experience. You build boundaries with intention, and you listen to your inner child. Now, slow healing is deep healing, is the kind that lasts. Also, grace is your greatest tool. That is the last reason why you should not rush the healing process. Grace is your greatest tool. Be gentle with yourself. Celebrate the small wins. Don't wait for big breakthroughs before you celebrate. Forgive the setbacks. They are normal in our human experience. And speak to yourself like you would to a beloved friend. Don't criticize yourself. Quieten the voice of the inner critic. Extricate the voice of the narcissist from your own voice with the help of God. And then grace isn't just a spiritual idea. I want you to understand that it's a strategy for survival. And so if this resonated with you, I want you to comment below. I give myself permission to heal slowly. Let's affirm it together. And if you find this message healing, please like, share, and subscribe. Someone else might need this reminder today. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like I always say, because when you do, you'll be notified when we go live, as well as when we post new videos, because we are constantly posting new videos. And we go live every Saturday. Like I've just had a live stream today, and it was super great because we had 30 people on that live stream. We thank God for his grace. And so when you subscribe and turn on notifications, you will be notified when we go live next week, Saturday at 12 noon WAT. We'll be talking about, does God want me to stay married to a narcissist? This coming Saturday. Don't miss it. It's going to be an explosive session which will answer all your questions. By the way, if you've got questions, do post them in the comments and I'll attend to them shortly. Okay. And so there is no perfect pace. We are still talking about the Don't Make These Mistakes series, in which we are going to have 11 videos, and I want you to watch the beginning, from the beginning till the very end, all the 11 videos, because they will teach you the mistakes to avoid in your journey of narcissistic abuse healing. And so as a final word, I want to say there's no perfect pace. There's only your pace, PACE, and also trust that God is still working, even on the days that you feel stuck, and you are healing, even when it's not obvious. Excuse me, you are growing even when it hurts, and you are deeply worthy of every breath, every tear, every step of this journey. You are not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. And now our fourth video is going to be on why you should not stay in contact with a narcissist. And so keep a date with me. All in all, we have 11 videos in our Don't Make These Mistakes series, and I want you to watch all these videos because I tell you, they are going to empower you for success in your narcissistic abuse journey. Thank you so much for subscribing to this strong and supportive community where we hold hands in our fight against narcissistic abuse and emotional trauma. And I'll see you in my next.